What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Grave of the Fireflies. This is a 1988 movie that was released by Studio Ghibli and has gone on to become a cinematic classic. This is perpetually on the IMDb Top 250, and I have seen this before. I saw this before I lost my vision, and the truth about many older films is that the older you get, the spottier it gets in whether or not it'll have audio description. And I was pleasantly surprised to find this on Netflix with audio description. I don't know how it got it. I don't know why it's there. I don't know when it got it. But thank you, whoever decided that the world needed Grave of the Fireflies to be fully accessible. It's a beautiful movie, and my immediate reaction was to recommend it to people and, of course, to a review of it, even though this is one of the greatest films of all time, one of the best animes ever. And I don't know that a review is necessary, but I'd love to be able to talk about it sort of from a blind perspective as to what it was like to watch Grave of the Fireflies. Because one of the things about the beauty of anime is often how it uses its structure to create sort of a magical realism. And there's definitely a lot of that here for Setsuo and Setsuke. Setsuke. I tried. Who are the main children, who are the brother and sister duo at the center of Grave of the Fireflies. It's not a happy movie, and it never pretends to be. From the beginning, it lets you know exactly what time frame it's in. It's in Japan. It's during the war. It's not a happy film. This is not a film full of rejoicement and merriment. Although what's interesting is it's like it was Life is Beautiful a little bit before Life is Beautiful, in so much that Setsuo is always trying to make things easier for his sister Setsuke, um, and not trying to bombard her with all of the realizations that he's now getting, even just as a young, teen himself, not quite old enough to be fighting age, even though there are references to him needing to eat so that he can get strong, so that he can join the army when he gets of age. He's still a boy himself, but his sister is definitely the younger one, and he's trying to shield her from a lot of the brutal honesty of the world they now live in. Um, it takes place post bombings, and they have experienced a lot of loss and trauma. Their dad is off in the army, fighting for Japan in World War II. Um, and sort of from that perspective. And then also their mom has suffered quite a bit and is hospitalized, at least at the beginning of the film. So they're living with their aunt, who is on, I believe, their father's side. There was some comment about them, or one of the sides of the family, and then they were unable to. It's a little bit of a tiff between them, and she's just getting in touch with somebody from the other side of the family, and Setsu wishes that he could, but it's interesting because it's like different time. You can't just like pull up Facebook and be like, "Yo, what up?" Um, so yeah, they end up having to sort of go off on their own, and he creates this little home and this little world for her. But I mean, they're just kids. And this is the realism of it all, is that kids trying to survive in a world that is already struggling as it is, with rations and food scarcity, and the remnants of bombs and all those different things, disease, you name it. I mean, this is not a happy movie. I don't want to ruin it for you. I'd rather you watch Grave of the Fireflies, but it's known for being one of the sort of most beautiful and sad films simultaneously that you will ever watch. And I think it's even more so when you're blind. One of the things that I noted, having seen Grave of the Fireflies before, is that with the audio description, when I could see, I'll at least my POV on this is that when I could see, you sort of there's a lot to watch and let it wash over you in terms of the anime and the style, right? And the way that it's drawn and its beauty and all that kind of stuff. When you kind of focus it down to the story, one of the things the audio description does is it really kind of focuses in on, because it doesn't have time to describe everything to you, because it can't disrupt the flow of the movie, it can't talk over dialogue, so it has to focus in on the bare bones, on the necessity of it. So if there's something that it needs you to pay attention to because it's important to the story or the plot, it kind of just says it. It kind of points it out to you. So, if anything, this film got more depressing. If anything, this film got sadder, because it immediately draws your eyes to the things that you're supposed to see, the things you're supposed to be paying attention to, which all support the theme a lot more than if you were casually watching this and maybe you didn't notice that little thing right away and you noticed something else. The balance isn't there quite as much. Um, there's less happiness and wonder in the film, and more just like, oh god, oh no. Plus I also know how it ends, so I'm like walking toward that. But yeah, I definitely felt like just the way that the audio description has to function is it ended up supporting a more somber tone to the film, which made it really interesting from my perspective, having seen Grave of the Fireflies, and then now I can't see it and I'm fully reliant upon audio description. I think I may have actually seen this without a dub cast. And that's another thing too, is if you watch the subtitled version of it, then your eyes are drawn to the text also, to having to read it. Um, so this has a lovely dub cast, by the way, that has taken a lot of care into um, doing the work, so that it sounds good. It's not a cheap dub cast. It sounds like it's the dub cast that they did years ago, not recently. So this doesn't sound like a fresh new dub cast. This sounds like a Studio Ghibli approved dub. Usually they have pretty good dubs. I don't mind, like Spirited Away as a uh, the girl that did that was really good. I can't think of her name. Currently in the moment, who played Chihiro. Who was also in The Ring. Lilo. Anyway, so yes, I love Grave of the Fireflies, and I'm so grateful that it has audio description. It's a beautiful film. If you haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, you should. I don't know if this is because we're getting a lot of movies that are like floating back through theaters just to fill spots. I think Grave of the Fireflies probably did that because anime has been doing better and better. Demon Slayer is a great example of how popular anime can be in theaters. It's possible, which means I may get to see Akira again with audio description if that's out there. If they went back through and they picked some of these classics of these old Studio Ghibli films, I would love that. Would love nothing more than to see some of these films again with audio description. Um, but this is certainly one of the best and deserves its spot on the top 250. I have really nothing but love here, and the only reason it's not like a 10 out of 10 is just because I think there probably are a few other films I would put above it. So my score is pretty damn high, though. I'm going to go with a 9.6 out of 10 for Grave of the Fireflies. I think it's an excellent movie. I think it's deeply moving. It really supports um, anime's function, being able to use like a magical realism and show you a world that feels like it exists, but also with some elements that do not, with a little bit of a fantastical fantasy element mixed in as well. And just lovely, lovely film. Anyway, I sometimes it's great to be able to just drop in and do this and not be like, what's in theaters right now? What crappy new streaming movie has opened? I just saw this and I was like, what? Must. must do this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.